Hey everybody, I'm Chef Sean and this is my sous chef,
Isa.
and today we're going to make summer rolls for you because today up here in Buffalo it's kind of cold, wintry, and snowy, so summer rolls seem like a good idea. So we're going to make beef summer rolls, and a summer roll is basically an Asian roll-up. And there's either you can make like an egg roll, which is a thicker skin and fried, spring roll, which is also fried with a thinner skin, or ours is going to be not fried at all. We're going to make ours with flank steaks. We have our flank steak here, lots of condiments, vegetables, and all kind of good stuff goes into it. So it's a little more complicated than say a 2-minute cake or a 3-minute 30-second cake. But it's a wonderful dinner. It's delicious and it's worth all the effort. So first we're going to make our marinade. So we're going to start off with a bunch of ingredients here. So first one we're going to get is fish sauce. And so fish sauce, if you smell it, it's definitely got a fishy smell. So we're going to add about a teaspoon of that. We're going to add about half that cilantro. So that's like half a bunch of cilantro. Okay. And then we are going to add about 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. Low sodium is what we use. About 2 tablespoons of avocado oil. And then we have about 2 tablespoons of sweet chili sauce. And then lastly, 2 tablespoons of hoisin, which is another wonderful sauce. Which doesn't want to come out. We will get that out later. And then once we get all that in, now we're going to add some garlic. So we have about 4 cloves of garlic here. We have them already peeled, so we're just going to give them a quick smash, and then give them a quick chop. It does not have to be perfect, but again, we just want to have a quick chop, rough chop of this. We want to get flavor in with our beef, so we want to get pretty small pieces. So we'll get all that. When we get that chopped up, we're going to also add some ginger. So I got a little bit of a ginger root here. So the quickest way to peel ginger, you're just going to peel it, cut off the top, the bottom, make sure it's nice and flat. Then you're kind of peel off all the extra skin there because you don't really want the skin. This is ginger so cheap. If you cut off a little bit extra, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. It does not have to be perfect. You can also clean it with a spoon too. That makes it easier. So we're just going to chop all that dead stuff, all that skin off, because again, we don't want skin. And from there, we will slice it super thin. So now we've got our ginger sliced up really thin. So you're going to go across and just give it a quick chop again. Make nice thin little slivers. And once you get it that way, you're going to turn it the other way again. Right back the way you started. And you go through it again. And that gives you nice little brunoise, or little chopped up pieces, the easiest way to do it. And you can kind of incorporate the garlic and your ginger together. Give them all a nice another chop. Get everything. Actually, we want it pretty small because you don't want big chunks of garlic or ginger in our food. So we're going to chop this up really well. It takes about a minute of chopping. You just wait again. You're going to put your finger on top of your knife, hold it like this, and you're just going to go right through all the stuff you're chopping up, and that will get you nice little pieces. So now it's nice and small, nice and fine. We're going to take all this, throw it into our marinade. Then we're going to take an onion. God put lines on the onion for a reason, so we'll cut through the lines, start at the bottom, and we're going to go extra fine. So as fine as you can get it, we're going to go through this onion. It's already cut, kind of go right through the middle. And so it's nice little pieces, and we'll add that to our marinade. On top of that, we're going to take about half a lime. Get all the juice in there. So we're built the acidity, all the flavors. It's going to be really delicious. And on top of that, we'll do a couple grinds of pepper. Looks good. Now, that's our start of our marinade. So now we're going to take our flank steak. And you can see in the flank steak, there's definitely lines the way it goes. So you want to kind of cut against those lines, cut against the grain. That's what makes it so tough. But what we're going to do is we want small pieces for our summer roll. So we're going to take the flank steak here. And your first thing you do is cut it right down the middle. So you're just going to cut the whole thing in half. And then I'll turn the board this way so you can see. So you can see there's definitely the lines of the grain. So we're going to cut with your knife on a really sharp angle. We're going to cut really like almost as thin as you can get it. Nice little slivers of beef. You want them extra thin. So we're going to cut this whole thing up into really thin slivers. And then we're going to throw it all in the marinade, and we'll show you that in a second. All right, so we now have the beef all sliced up. Get everything mixed really well. So once it sits for about an hour, then we'll be ready to cook. So now we're gonna make a quick pickle to add to our summer rolls. So first vegetable we're gonna do is carrot. You're gonna take your peeler and just go through them. You get nice strips of carrots. While she's doing that, we have the other half of the onion. So we'll add this to our pickle making container here. How about a pickle container? So we'll add onions into there. Again, thin slice. We're gonna add about half a teaspoon of salt. Just add that right on top of that. And then we're gonna add about 1 tablespoon of sweet chili. So let's give it a little sweetness, a little brightness, a little different. Then we're gonna add 3 tablespoons of rice vinegar. This is unseasoned, just plain old rice vinegar. That's gonna be our pickling liquid or agent right there. And then we're gonna add juice of half of a lime to this as well. So all that's gonna be mixed up. And then we're gonna add all these carrots to it. And on top of that, we're gonna add a couple of peppers. And the good thing is when you cut up all the carrots, you get leftovers and eat with some hummus. Delicious.
Learn how to make hummus.
Yeah, there's a video for that, isn't there? Pretty good one too, I think. So now we're gonna cut up some peppers. We wanna have them, again, like the onions and the carrots. We want everything nice and thin. So you're gonna cut off the top, cut off the bottom. You can go right down the side, go around in a circle, get it all cleaned out. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a red and a yellow because we want some color. Because we want them extra thin, we're going to cut off a little piece, and in that piece, we're going to put your hand flat, and we're going to go through it again. So we're going to get rid of some of the inside skin. So we want this suckers to be really super thin. We'll put that to the side too. And now we're just going to julienne these as fine as you can do it. Again, kind of like an onion. And you want nice little ribbons, and we'll add that all to our pickled veg we're making here.
Okay, so we just finished cutting up and shredding up all of our vegetables, and we're gonna let this sit for another, for like what, half an hour?
Right now, you want to get some flavor, unlike a regular pickle, which you can marinate for days and weeks and months and years. This is a quick, like an hour and a half pickle.
And make sure to have your beef also sitting for like an hour and a half. So we'll be back to start messing around with our summer roll papers. Okay, so we just let it all sit and marinate for about an hour and a half. And now we're going to show you how to cook the beef.
We have our beef and we have a wok. So you can get your oil in there, make sure it's nice and hot. It should be running through the bottom of the pan. You don't need a ton of oil because remember we put a little oil in with the beef. Now we're going to cook it in small batches. This might take a little longer than normal. If you throw in one big batch, it wouldn't cook nearly as nicely. So what we're going to do is just put little batches in. You can hear the sizzle. So you're just going to put them in a few pieces at a time, keep single layers, and work fast. Because this beef is going to cook extremely quick. By the time you get a layer done, it'll be time to flip them and take them out. And you're just going to give them a quick flip over. It'll take about 30 seconds per side. And that's all the cooking you want to do with them. You just want to really just cook it, and then they will, anything that will carry over. And that is it. And that's all the cooking we're going to do. We'll take them off, put them in a pan on the side, and then you add the next batch. And you cook until it's all done. So now we are we've cooked our beef. It is delightful. We have our pickled veg, which we've made earlier. So we have our vegetables. Now, on top of everything else, we're going to use some nice fresh leaf lettuce. And so we take our rice paper wrappers. We soak them in kind of warm water. So about 30 seconds. You want them till they're nice and pliable. So they're nice and soft and pliable, correct? Oh, look at that. That's good. Now you're going to lay a piece of leaf lettuce inside. You're going to put a little bit of beef. All right. Then you want to put some cilantro, some fresh mint, and your pickled veg inside. Cilantro. And a dog drinking water. And then your pickled veg is going to go in here. Dog was thirsty. That happens. All right. Put your pickled veg in. Now you're going to roll up the sides, fold them in. Fold the two sides into the middle. That side. That side. Now you roll the whole thing up like a burrito. Alright everybody, so we've made all our delicious little summer rolls. You can Fill them up with whatever stuff you want. Chicken, shrimp, just all veggies. You can put some noodles and stuff instead of beef. You can do whatever you want with summer rolls. That's a beautiful thing at them. It's a fairly easy, delicious, nutritious, fun-filled dinner to make with your family. And let me think. I think I want this one right here. This one looks absolutely delicious. All that stuff is actually coming out. It's just so good. And yeah, I'm dipping mine in sweet chili sauce. You're going to go with a hoisin. Cheers. Bon appetit. Thanks for cooking with Chef Sean.